the Honorable Louis Farrakhan. Allahu Akbar. The Honorable Louis Farrakhan.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, the one God to whom praise is forever due, the Lord of the worlds. Allah, the creator of all things. Allah, the revealer of all truth. Allah, the sender of all prophets. To him alone do I submit and seek refuge. We thank Allah for Moses and the Torah. We thank him for Jesus and the gospel. We thank him for Muhammad and the Quran. Peace be upon these worthy servants of Allah. I am eternally grateful for Allah's intervention in our affairs. In the person of Master Farad Muhammad, the great Mahdi, who came among us and raised one from our midst to be a divine leader, teacher, and guide, his messenger to us, one who would make the Torah, the Gospel, and the Quran relevant books for us in our condition and for oppressed people all over the world. I'm speaking of the man who taught me and the man who shaped and molded me, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I greet all of you, my dear brothers and sisters, with the greeting words of peace. We say it in the Arabic language, Assalamu alaikum. In English, it means peace be unto you. To Minister Charles Muhammad and all of the believers here in Toledo, Ohio, and to those who helped Brother Charles to make this event possible and to make this event successful. Our thanks to you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
And our thanks to all of the believers. Thank you. Of course, everywhere I go, the believers, the FOI, and the MGT come to secure me. And I cannot say enough of thanks to the FOI, to the MGT, for your great efforts to make sure that we have a peaceful meeting and a peaceful event. Thank you, FOI and MGT. To the Black Student Union, of Toledo University, and to the students from the various colleges and universities nearby who came today, our thanks to you for your presence, the religious leaders, members of the clergy, imams, if there are any rabbis or other leaders, we are honored by your presence. And of course, the common people, without whom none of us have any relevance. You are the most important of all, the most overlooked, but the most important. The common masses of the people of America and the world. The world is in the condition that it is in because leadership has misused and abused the common masses of the people. Religion notwithstanding, the common masses of the people suffer in all religions, suffer under all political systems. And there is not one system so far that has granted the people the peace and security that human beings need in order to manifest the greatness that God has put within each individual. Every human being, regardless of color or race or national origin, has a gift from the Creator that makes that human being special. But in a society where there is no equality of opportunity and no real freedom, then human beings cannot justify their existence on the planet by manifesting what it is that God has given to each one of us that makes us unique and different, but yet makes us a part of a whole that is greater than all individuals. Religion has a responsibility. Religion was never meant to enslave. Religion was never meant to oppress. God reveals truth and what is called religion to cultivate the best that is in the human being. Without cultivation, human beings become animals. The animalistic side of human nature takes precedence over the moral, spiritual, and divine essence in the human being. That's right. Say, well, Farrakhan, if this is so, what is the reason then why religion is responsible for some of the most heinous crimes? People of religion have killed each other wholesale on the earth in the name of God. Yet if the prophets of these different expressions of faith were able to come back and walk up on this stage, these prophets of Almighty God would embrace each other no matter what their race or their color, because the Quran teaches us that Allah, God, has raised in every nation a messenger. God has not left one people without a messenger. And messengers come to guide human beings to the right path, to the path of divine favor, to the path that would cause people to be cultivated to the highest level of their abilities to be cultivated. Man and woman properly cultivated become expressions of God. Man and woman uncultivated become expressions of the worst of human nature. And that's where we are today. That's why somebody has to come and say, stop the killing. Because human beings have become like animals. Human beings are not evolving toward God, but human beings are degenerating into worse behavior than the lower animals or beasts of the field. You cannot condemn a beast for feeding off of another animal, because that's the nature of the beast. But when human beings act like beasts, we have a problem, because human beings are separated from beasts by the ability to think, the ability to will, the ability to form ideas and then work to bring those ideas into fruition. No lower life can do that. But when a human being forms ideas that enslave and oppress other human beings, when human beings form ideas that deny other human beings their basic human, divine, and natural rights, then you have on the scene a devil. Now, let's not get excited. Let's not get excited. You all have been knowing about a devil. Both Bible and Holy Quran, all scriptures, in the West particularly. Eastern scriptures don't have words like that. In truth, most Far Eastern, not Middle Eastern, Far Eastern scripture, they don't have words in their language even for those things that are in the scriptures of the prophets from Abraham to Muhammad. When you get to Abraham and Muhammad, you start talking about devil, Satan, evil, hatred, all these things that are unknown in Far Eastern religion is very well known in Western religion, Middle Eastern expressions of religion, because all of that is what we face on a daily basis. When I came before you, I said, Assalamu alaikum. I offered you peace. That's a wonderful expression, brothers and sisters. I offered you peace because in your brother, there is nothing that I'm going to say with my tongue or do with my hands that will disturb your peace if your peace is grounded in what is good. I may disturb your peace if your peace and contentment is due to evil to somebody else. Peace is not peace on our terms. Peace is peace on the terms of him who is the author of peace. And the author of peace says that if you want peace in your life, then you must submit your will to do the will of God. You can't make peace with one another if you have not made peace with him who is the creator of all. He's first. So how do you make peace with God? You make peace with God by bowing to his will. You just got here. I just got here. The oldest one in the room just got here. Ask somebody who's been here 60, 70, 80 years. How long is that? That's nothing. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us it takes 70 years to learn how to live. Some of us die before we learn how to live. Young people don't have wisdom. It takes years of life experience to grow into wisdom. I am hopefully wiser today than I was 20 years ago. I had some wisdom 20 years ago, and I'm sure if I'm blessed to live 20 more years, I'll be much wiser then than I am now. So age and wisdom should go hand in hand. But if when you get wise enough to know how to live, you die, then who will pass on wisdom to our young? And if the young are separated from their elders and we are at odds with one another, how can the wisdom of age be used as counsel for the young that they won't make the same mistakes that we have made, that we might send them off into life greater, stronger, much better than we? But every generation of black people, it's like reinventing, going over the same things, making the same mistakes, because we don't live long enough to become wise enough to pass on wisdom to our young. So when I say peace, brothers or sisters, black and white, Jews and Gentile, Protestant and Catholic, Muslim and non-Muslim, I'm saying peace to you because I think I have made peace first with God. Peace with God demands of me that I obey him. Why should I obey him? Or better, why shouldn't I obey him? If you got a sage in your midst that is known as a wise man, wouldn't you get credit for going to the foot of the sage to ask questions? Come on. Wouldn't you be considered intelligent to sit at the foot of an elder who is known to be wise? In the old culture, the Native Americans always sit at the foot of their elders. In African culture, we don't put our elders in old age homes. We keep our elders with us so that we continue to draw from the knowledge of the elder until the elder passes away. Look at what is happening to us. Your mother gets a little infirm, you put her away. Your father away, your grandmother away. You make life miserable for the elderly when they were trying in their youth to make life better for you when you couldn't do better for yourself. The elders live longer when they're with their children, when they're with their grandchildren, when the elder can touch the young and help the young. They feel closer to life. As life is leaving them, they feel good to embrace a child. But when you lock your elders away as though they made no contribution to your life, then you are disrespecting age and wisdom. And one day you will reap what you have sown. You say, Farrakhan, well, what has this got to do with stop the killing? If you will honor your elders, how old is God? You don't even want to think about that one. It boggles your mind. Look how young we are. We came on the planet and we saw this. I mean, we looked, we saw the sun, the moon, the stars, the birds, the insects, the bees. We saw the rivers, the lakes, the mountains. We saw the sunrise, the sunset. Some of us were blessed to see a solar eclipse or a lunar eclipse. We saw the change of seasons, and we said, whoa, this is wonderful. And no matter how great we get in life, people may talk about you as a student leader, or me as a teacher, or the professor, or the musician, but what happens? Don't we go? And somebody else comes up and they talk about them. Then they go. And somebody else comes up and they talk about them. But in every generation, God is spoken of most. So who should we listen to most? Come on. Since I didn't create myself, and I don't think you did create yourself, then it would seem to me that if we believe there is a creator, and there is, then shouldn't we look to him as the elder? Yes, sir. As one who has enough wisdom to guide us in the life that he gave us that we couldn't give ourselves? You that go to the drugstore to get things to use for your hair. Somebody said, watch out now. Let's not go there, Farrakhan. If you can't read, you may be in trouble because there's directions for use. Put it in, don't let it stay too long. And get it out as quickly as you can. If you feel a burning sensation, some of us that are old, we can look young, put something in your hair, make it different colors, fix yourself up if you want to. But you better follow the directions, lest you may look for black and it come out purple. Or you may look for it straight, then it really gets straight, all of it comes out. Because you don't know how to follow directions. Well, if you're intelligent enough to go and get directions to how to use your automobile, how to use your computer, how to use whatever product you buy. You go and get prescriptions from a druggist, and the doctor tells you, take so many pills at so many times a day, and you learn how to follow direction if you want good results. Well, if you want good results with life, you got to follow the good directions of Him who created and authored and gives sustenance to life.
Yes, sir.
And that's what religion is supposed to be about.
Yes, sir.
Religion is supposed to give you directions for your life. Religion is supposed to give you values and principles that live far beyond our lifespan. Religion is supposed to cultivate the best within the human being, and religion is supposed to give us the wherewithal to keep in check the worst in the human being. But when we don't make peace with God by obeying His directions for life, then we can't make peace with one another. And that is what's wrong in the world. If Jesus said there would be wars and rumors of wars, is that what we see? And nation will rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. Is that what we see? We see the mother-in-law at variance with the daughter-in-law, and the son-in-law at variance with the father-in-law, and they of a man's own household become his or her worst enemies. If you see all of this on the earth, where Paul writes that men will be heady and high-minded, they will be traitors, they will be lovers of themselves, they will turn the natural use of the woman into an unnatural thing. Don't you see this going on? Well, how can there be peace, man, if we have violated every law that would make us relate to one another like human beings? So there's no peace with God, so there can't be any peace one with another. So the Bible says you will seek peace, but you can't find it. You will not be able to find it. There won't be any peace in the Middle East. You can try all you want to. If you don't make peace with God, you will never have any lasting and enduring peace with your fellow man. So the whole world is messed up. And when we bring it into America, somebody has to come and have a subject called Stop the Killing. 4,000 years ago, Moses came and gave a law that said what? Thou shalt not kill. 4,000 years ago. Don't kill. Of course, he didn't mean don't kill all things, because he taught us the foods to eat.
Yes, sir.
And the foods not to eat.
Make it plain.
Come on.
Yes, sir.
He taught us the herbs to eat.
Yes, sir.
And those things, herbs, not to consume. He taught us the fish to eat. And the fish not to eat. So what you eat, you kill. If you had some chicken, you killed it. You didn't eat it live. If you had some orange roughy or some whiting, you killed it. You didn't eat it live. If you had sushi, you ate it raw, but it was dead. And so life feeds on life in order to sustain the higher life. Listen now. Boy, this is something. You go and you eat corn, you eat broccoli or any vegetation, the best time to eat it is when it is freshly killed. When you pluck it from its root, it begins to die. So when you eat it fresh, energy to sustain your life. The chemists have found ways to put it in a can and leave it there for as long as Methuselah.
Listen.
It might fill your stomach, but you get very little from it. But you have killed. But God is talking to a people who had no respect for human life. And he says, thou shalt not kill. And then later on, he tells you who should be killed. Wait a minute, I have to tell you. He said the son that rises up to strike his parents, kill him. God said that through Moses. Kill him. The woman that wants to dress like a man, kill her. God said that. The man that wants to dress like a woman, kill him. That's what God said. Don't even think about if you can get killed for dressing like somebody. What you think God would do when you start trying to be what you are not? Go ahead. Go ahead. That's rough law, isn't it? You say, well, we passed that long time ago. That was back there then. See, yeah. Thank God. God did not tolerate children beating up their parents. That's worthy of death. Back then, and it's worthy of death now. Even though the law has gotten so crazy. I'll get to that in a minute. God said, if you commit adultery, kill him. Woo. Woo. I'm not going to ask you how many of us are under the sentence of death. Don't raise your hand. Now, brothers and sisters, ask yourself, why is the law so harsh? God says, thou shalt not kill. Then he gives instructions on who to kill. That's why in the law of Islam, it says, kill no one whom Allah has not ordered to be killed. But in the books of God, God gives orders as to who should die. That's why people like religion like it is today. Oh, we're modern now. This is a modern time. Things change. But the result of evil is the same and worse. God does not like for women to dress like men, because God does not like women to look like or act like men. God never liked men to dress like women, because he did not like men to act like, think like, look like a woman. Wait. What's wrong, God? Why you don't like that? What's wrong, God? I mean, You have a problem with our modern society because you said God is love, and we just love each other. What's wrong, God? See? The nature in which God created man and woman is for our natures to complement each other, that in each other we might find peace and quiet of mind. When a woman has a man that is acting according to the will and law of God, the woman can be the woman that God made her to be. A woman can't be a woman without a real man. All right. God did not create us to be what we are independent of Him and independent of each other. Yes. Y'all all right? Yes, sir. He gave us sex. He did this. He did this. Wise God. I'm very grateful to that wise God. But He didn't give us sex as a means of destruction of ourselves. He gave us sex as a means of procreation of self, because we are not made in this body to live forever. So He created everything, according to the Quran, in pairs. The grass is male and female. Oh, you didn't hear me. Even down to the tiniest atoms. And now they're discovering particles of matter that they call a quark. But they too are in pairs. We are male and female because each of us must die, but the human species must live. So sex was given to us so that when a man sees a woman and she's attractive to him, and she sees a man and he's attractive to her, and they come close to each other and they begin to love each other and feel a need for each other, they begin to repeat the Genesis.
Yes, sir.
And they say, let us make man in our image and after our likeness. And so, brother, to every male in this audience, the woman is the most precious gift that God could ever give to a man. There's nothing in creation other than God greater than a woman. You can take it or leave it. Nothing is greater than a woman but God. You all should stand up on your feet and cheer for women. Now, brothers, why did I say that? Who is the woman? That nothing in creation, neither sun, moon, nor stars, nothing is greater than woman but God. Because when you look at a female, you're looking at the means by which your life is extended. And every time a woman tells you she's expecting, if there's love between you, The intelligent man, the wise man, is not sad. Well, we ain't got no money. And oh, shut up. The Bible tells you the birds eat. You don't find worms even in a line saying they're hungry. You are the most intelligent of God's creation, yet you kill your babies out of fear for bread. That shows you that something has happened to your head, and that's what we want to talk about today, the destruction of the mind of the man and the woman. Through woman we live. Through woman, life is extended. Through woman, the answer to every prayer comes into the world. Do you pray? What do you ask for? Everybody prays at one time or another. Even an atheist, when you get him cornered. Many of us have relatives that have died of cancer or are dying of cancer. Some of us have friends that are dying of AIDS. Some of us have loved ones that have died of tuberculosis and other diseases. And when you see somebody whom you love leaving you because of an illness that there is no cure for, what do? Even if it's not a spoken prayer, what happens in your breast is you hope for a cure for this dreaded disease. You got any relatives that are dying of cerebral palsy? You have any relatives that are dying of a disease that there is no known cure for? Somebody you love, somebody you care about, but you know you don't have the cure. But you hope, God, I hope for the day that a cure will be found for this dreaded disease. Where you think the cure is going to come from? Some woman is going to produce a child. Male or female. Some woman is going to produce a child born to bring the answer to what you hoped for, what you longed for, what you prayed for. And that's why the womb of every woman and every woman is sacred. And any man who violates a woman is accursed of God. I'm gonna say it again, man. The woman is your link to God. What? How's that, brother? Sure, I'll be glad to tell you. Because, brothers, I'm speaking to the men particularly, very abusive of women in every society, whether it's Christian, Muslim, Jews. These three are the revealed religions of the Western world: Islam, Christianity, Judaism. How do you treat women? Come on. See, the Prophet Muhammad had respect for women. But we have taken some of our Eastern cultures and overrode what the Quran teaches and the Prophet's example. As a Christian woman, you are a plaything in this society. Talk to me. As a Christian woman, you are a piece of meat in the Western world. Talk back to me. Your clothing is not designed by righteous designers. Come on, let's agree on truth. God took our private parts and put them in a place that they could be hidden between our legs. But the designers designed clothes to bring what was hidden into view. Talk to me. There is no natural man that is not stimulated by the sight of certain parts of a female. Is that right? If you're a natural man. And you know what? It's the same on the other side. The female is stimulated sexually by certain parts of the male anatomy. So the scientists who study this make clothes. You wear them, they make them. You buy them, they make them. They got jeans so tight that the sisters can measure the brothers. Ooh. They have jeans so tight on the female till your crotch becomes an inverted pyramid. You see the point? Did I say something wrong? I'm not trying to be vulgar. I'm not trying to be vulgar. So you walk in the street, sisters, your breasts are not tied down. You got on high heels, talk to me, and everything is moving. And like a fish don't like no dead bait. It's like a live bait that's moving. So when you walk, you just moving. The brother's eyes go to dancing in his head. And then his eyes go from the breast right down to the apex of the pyramid, which is now inverted. Then when you walk by, you watch him, you know. And it leads us to thinking on a lower level. And it makes you attract a man at the lowest level. And what you see is just what you get. You get a man that doesn't care about your mind. He's more interested in something that rhymes with mind. You poets figure that out. And then after he starts working with your body and discovers it, he moves on to the next one, and to the next one, and to the next one. And you falling in love. Poor thing. And you end up so disillusioned with men that you have no desire anymore to be hurt by a man. So there's no peace between male and female. There's no peace between black and white or Asian and Western man. Why? Because we violated each other. We violated divine law, natural law. So all peace is a contrivance of men who want to make peace with each other without first making peace with God. So when in the book we kill the adulterer, it's because family is the most important unit in the structure of civilized people. Family is the basis of nation. When you have no real strong family, you cannot have a strong community or a strong nation. And the bedrock of family is marriage. And when there is no respect for marriage and there's violation of a union between two human beings, you have interfered with community and you have begun to dig like a termite at the root of a nation. So adultery is not only the destruction of family, adultery is the destruction of nation. So Jesus said, this is an adulterous generation that seeketh after a sign. Come on now. See, Reverend, when you listen to Farrakhan, you will find out I'm not such a bad fella. Caucasian people, when you listen to Farrakhan, Jews, when you listen to Farrakhan, Catholics, when you listen to Farrakhan, Muslims, when you listen to Farrakhan, you will find you may disagree with me with this point or that point, but you don't agree with God on every point. Some of you. You find that Farrakhan not such a bad fella. Well, why does he get such a bad rap? I mean, you would think that Farrakhan was the worst man in the world. But it's because when you're free, and I am a free black man, when you're unbought and unbossed, and you love the truth, and you love your people, and you love humanity, if you will speak truth to correct the wrong, you become dangerous to those who manipulate the ignorance of the masses for their own greedy benefit. Adultery is wrong. But God, in the Old Testament, killed the fornicators. Young people experimenting with each other. Come on here, girl. See, a woman is not to be played with, brother. Let me tell you something, sisters. You are so sacred in the sight of God. And sex is so powerful that to abuse a girl is like killing her. I'm going to say it again. As men, the young girls who are growing today, so beautiful, so well formed, at 8 and 9 and 10, they put all these hormones in the meats to fatten the the animal up to get it to market quicker to make a profit. And when you eat these kinds of meats, you find yourself growing faster. The children today at 10 and 12, their breasts are bigger than their mothers. A child with a Barbie doll in one hand and a sanitary napkin in another, at 8 and 9 years old, they are ready to be able to bear, but their minds are not yet prepared. When men see this, you bring men into your homes. In the Islamic way, we don't have any free intermingling with the sexes. A man come in your house and say, "How's your wife?" Well, you can ask me, but it really ain't none of your business. That's my business. You're getting out of your place. You want to get familiar with, hey, you my best friend, but let me hug and kiss your wife. See, in our world, we don't play that. Boy, you really got to be close to the family. If we allow you to get around our women, that means you are very special. That means you are very special. Because in the Islamic way, we do not allow no man to get around our woman. You can see her, you can respect her, but we will not allow no plaything. And if you come in our house to play with our daughters, we kill you for that. In our way, don't no man come get my daughter on no street corner talking to her. You gotta come talk to me. I'm the door to my daughter. You gotta pass by me. I reared her. I taught her. I treated her like a righteous girl. I didn't play with my daughter. You understand me? I taught her how to be a girl, and her mother taught her how to be a woman. She has value, so don't you mess in my house, I'll kill you. You come talk to me. Tell me what you got on your mind. Because when you take my daughter from me, I want to know that she got a man that's going to look after her like I look after her. I never abused my daughter, and I will not allow you to abuse her. Woman is sacred, and it's the violation of women. It's the disrespect of women that has the world in the condition that it is in. God put woman beside a man to give balance to the power that he would give to a man. And when you shove a woman out, tell her she don't have no voice, no place, then there's no balance for your power. See, woman bring forth the children. You don't know what it's like to go in labor. You don't feel for children like a woman does, but you know how to send them off to war. So if women are not involved in everything, not only the making of children, but in the governance of society, then you don't have balance. You say, Farrakhan, are you going against the teachings of the prophet? No.
No, sir.
No. If you are Hakim,
Come on.
and that's the male or masculine for wise, who is she? Hakimah.
Come on, teach me.
So she got wisdom, you got wisdom. So don't tell a wise woman she can't stand beside a wise man in ruling and governing the affairs of the world. You out of your place. And that's why there's hell in Islam, and there'll be hell in Judaism, and there's hell in Christianity, and any society on the earth where women are oppressed, you can believe God is stirring women up today. They're not going to take it anymore. They got to have their rightful place in the society of the world.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Now, the New Testament does away with a lot of killing. You notice Jesus in the New Testament, they found this woman in adultery. And they brought the woman to Jesus. Said, Jesus, we found this woman in adultery. You did? How was she found in adultery? You didn't bring the man. Some chauvinism was going on. No. And they brought the woman to Jesus. She didn't say she wasn't wrong in the matter, but the law said stone her to death. And everybody had the stone, they were ready too. And the book says Jesus kneeled down and he wrote in the sand.
Go ahead.
He who is without sin, let him cast the first stone. Now that's a heck of a question here. Now if you notice, none of us get along well, and we're really throwing stones at each other. But when Jesus said, the one that is without sin, you come, and you throw the first stone. And then he looked at the woman, and he asked her a question. He said, woman, where are your accusers? And they couldn't accuse her because they were not without sin. Then look at what Jesus said. He said, neither do I accuse you. And then look at his commands to her. Go and sin no more. Man, that's so sweet. Look. The reason it is addressing women and not men is because society comes down. When you destroy a woman, you destroy the society. When you build up a woman, you're building up a new society. When you make a new woman, you make a new world. You can't have a new world with a new man. You got to have a new woman. So Jesus now is bringing in something new. And he's got to deal with women who have been destroyed by the world. Women who are adulterous. And the reason you're adulterous, sisters, is because in truth, we as men have not been soul satisfying. Uh-oh.
Bring it home now. That's right. Go ahead.
And the sisters know what I'm saying is right, but
Yes, sir.
sisters, how many of you want to bear witness that what I've said just then is right? Raise your hand. See, most men think that satisfying a woman in bed, and I'm not being vulgar, I'm just telling you what you think. You think that's it. I said, say it again. Oh, Lord. They're going to want me to get out of Toledo quick, you hear me?
Go ahead, my mister.
Let me say this, sisters, brothers, look. No matter how strong you are, you can't outdo an animal, some of them. And sex don't last long enough for it to be the total thing. So if you work at it for a couple of minutes or a couple of hours, there's still 22 more hours in a day. So if you deal with each other's bodies for an hour or two, depending on how much time you have to give to this endeavor, then you better pay some attention to what's going on in her head. And that's where the real marriage takes place. It's never in the body, it's in the head, it's in the mind, it's in the soul, it's in the spirit, it's in the essence of the two people. So when you feed the body, that's good, but what about feeding the soul, feeding the mind? That comes with a higher kind of relationship. When God made man, he made woman after man, according to the Quran and Bible. The woman was to help the man meet his obligation. That's why they called her helpmeet. And look, man, if you do your job right, you're worthy of the joy and peace and consolation that God has put in a woman for the man. But a man ain't got no job, he don't work. Wait a minute. Want to lay up in the bed all day, but he don't work? I don't care how handsome you are, brother, she gonna get tired of you. And you could go to the gym and work out all day long, build up big, pretty muscles and everything. She can get tired of that too. You could be king on the basketball court, the best fighter in the ring, which means that you got a lot of physical strength. But why are the boxers divorcing their wives? Why these big trees can't get along with their wives? If it's a sexual thing, we all could get along. Can't we all get along? But it's more than that. It's a spiritual thing. It's a mental thing. And if you leave that higher part out, the lower part will burn out. And then you be with the woman, but she'll be looking over your shoulder as she's dancing with you, looking at somebody else. Maybe this is a real man, because this one I'm dancing with, he ain't hitting on nothing. Pleasure comes after pain. And pain means you have to work hard, struggle against obstacles to produce as a man. Then you make a woman happy with you, and she loves you, and your marriage gets stronger and stronger as it gets longer and longer. Today, your marriages don't last 6 months, a year, 2 years later for him. You talk about hateful speech. You should go to the divorce court and really listen to hateful speech. You've been here with me an hour and 5 minutes. Maybe you don't like what I said, but this is not hateful speech.
No, sir.
I'm gonna get there. And then I want you to tell me if it's hateful speech. They had a big rally here yesterday against bigotry, hateful speech, racism, anti-Semitism. I should have been at that rally. Members of the press, I should have been at that rally. Because I wouldn't have to come and ask our people to stop the killing if somebody didn't teach them to hate themselves. Farrakhan didn't do that. There was hate, there was bigotry. All of that is what put us in the condition that we're in. Now you're going to have a rally in Toledo against Farrakhan?
Go ahead.
I drove into your neighborhood.
Go ahead, brother.
Didn't look like somebody loved you the way you live.
Go ahead,
I drove in your neighborhood. The whole town looked like somebody don't love it. I'm not in the city council. Nobody voted for me to be the mayor of Toledo. And Reverend, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. You're over a congregation in a city filled with hate. Farrakhan didn't murder nobody yesterday. But go to the hospital and see who was filling the emergency ward. It wasn't none of my people. They weren't Muslims. If you asked them, what is your religion? They came in high. Stone out of their mind. Ask them, what's your religion? They tell you, I'm a Christian. Well, maybe, Pastor, you better get busy, go to work. Not on Farrakhan. You need to clean the Christian streets. Because this is a Judeo-Christian society that's going to hell. I'm here to clean up the mess that you made. All right, now let's get to the hate part. hate is wrong. Hate is awful. We just shouldn't hate nobody. It's just a terrible thing to hate. Shut up. You sound like a fool. In fact, you are a fool. Jesus said, no man can serve two masters. I didn't say it. Jesus said it. You will love one and hate the other. Who said it? Jesus said it. You can't serve God and mammon too. Well, I think you misinterpreted in the book. Well, let me go further. Jesus said, in order to be my disciple, you gotta hate your mother, hate your father, yea, hate even your own life for my sake, otherwise you're not worthy of me. I didn't say it, it's in your book. God said he loved Jacob and he hated Esau. Go read your Bible. You tolerant Muslims, let me talk to you. How in the hell can you tell me you are Muslim and you tolerate evil and injustice when the prophet himself gave his life and fought like hell against all evil and injustice, and you sitting on your backside in a mosque praying and the world going to hell all around you? This kind of religion the enemy likes. You so tolerant now, you don't want to stand up against the evil in your own society. You want to make peace with the evildoers on their terms so you can get along well with them. You're a hypocrite. Islam is a religion of tolerance. Islam is a religion of love. Islam is a religion of peace. Yes, it is. But Islam is a religion of peace on God's terms, not on man's terms. Don't you claim Prophet Muhammad and see injustice and don't speak against it. Don't raise your hand against it. Don't move against it. Don't claim Jesus if you don't hate what's going on in this society. Don't claim Moses. Don't claim God and the prophets if you can tolerate the abuse of children, if you can tolerate pornography, if you can tolerate 3X movies, if you can turn on your television and see comedians with a MF this and a FU that, and you can tolerate that. Don't you open your mouth and say you love Jesus, you love God, you love Moses. You are a damnable liar. That's why you don't like me. Because I'm not going to tolerate that foolishness. That's why you don't like me. Because if you come at me deceitful, I'll bust you down with the truth. That's why you don't like me.
Go ahead, brother man.
I don't want no punked out religion.
Go ahead.
I don't want a religion that makes you lay down and accept everything that the wicked pour on you. And all you're going to do is lay around and pray for God to make a change? God will never change the condition of a people until you change what is in your heart and change the condition that exists around you. I have here some hate. There's a time, your Bible says, and a purpose for everything under the heavens. There's a time to be born, and there's a time to die. There's a time to heal, and there's a time to kill. There's a time to love, and there is a time to hate. There's a time to reap and a time to sow. But for everything under the heavens, there is a time and a season and a purpose. So don't you make people who have a justified reason to intensely dislike their condition, make them feel that they are wrong for hating the evil that you pour upon them night and day. Some of you are afraid now to be black. Just afraid. If you have a black student union, you got to apologize.
Go ahead, brother. That's right.
If you get together as a black student group to iron out your own problems and the problems that you face in an all-white university system, all of a sudden now you are reverse racists. And you buy into that and feel like maybe I'm doing something wrong. If somebody comes on your campus and speaks about the condition that black people suffer under here and all over the world, and they speak enraged over it, we don't have any right to be angry over the hell that we are catching every day of our lives. Are we not human beings? You mean white people can be angry with their condition? They can be angry with Japan for attacking Pearl Harbor. They can be angry with Germany for what the Germans did. But we can't be angry. You're depriving us of our right as a human being to display an emotion that says we are alive, we're human. Allah says in the Quran, would you offer them love while they drive you out because you have taken away to your Lord? Why would you offer them love when they hate you for your belief in Allah and your refusal to make a partner with Him? Why would you offer them love? Love is the most precious thing you got. Because when you offer your love, whoever you offer it to can take advantage of you by your love. Your love becomes the vehicle of your enslavement, your manipulation, or your destruction. You don't give love to every damn thing. Some of you lying Christians talk about how you love everybody, but don't love your black self. You love everybody, but can't find room in your heart to love me. Ain't I somebody to love? You hypocrites. You went down south to Bull Connor on your bended knee, falling behind Dr. King with nonviolent love to convert Bull Connor. You didn't convert that cracker. If you think I'm wrong, why didn't you come to me with nonviolent love and try to turn me around? It's because you're a slave. You think like a slave. Anything that ill affects your master, you want to run and stroke your master. Master's Farrakhan got you upset, master? Is Farrakhan upsetting your Lord and master? Farrakhan saying some ugly things to your master? Farrakhan is a hater, that's what he is. Who is Elie Wiesel? Who is he? Who is Elie Wiesel? Elie Wiesel is a man that got the Nobel Peace Prize. A Jewish man who was hurt by the evil of the Holocaust. And Elie Wiesel wrote in his book, Appointment with Hate, and I'm quoting Mr. Wiesel. Not Louis Farrakhan, Mr. Wiesel. Members of the press, take it down, my dear. Mr. Wiesel writes, there is a time to love and a time to hate. And whoever does not hate when he should does not deserve to love when he should, does not deserve to love when he is able. Perhaps, this is Mr. Wiesel talking, had we learned to hate more during the years of ordeal, fate itself would have taken fright. The Germans did their best to teach us, but we were poor pupils in the discipline of hate. Yet today, even having been deserted by my hate during that fleeting visit to Germany, I cry out with all my heart against silence. Every Jew somewhere in his being should set apart a zone of hate, healthy, virile hate, for what the German personifies and what persists in the German. To do otherwise would be a betrayal of the dead. I shall not return to Germany soon again. Now, I want to talk to you.
Go ahead, brother.
I want to reason with you. Mr. Elie Wiesel wrote this. Nobody condemns him. He's all right. He can visit any Christian church, though he does not believe in Jesus. He's welcome. He writes this. He's welcome. He spoke from his heart. He's welcome. He said every Jew should set apart a zone in his heart for hate. Virile hate. Peace prize. Peace prize. I went and I saw Schindler's List. I sat there for nearly 3 hours. I'm sorry that I had to leave the film because, no. I didn't leave because I wanted to. I had an appointment and I really didn't know the film was that long. Otherwise, I would have stayed to have seen the conclusion. Jews, if they suffered this, that was pretty rough. I heard women in the theater crying. And I asked myself when I left the theater, why is it that when we go to the Holocaust Museum, $200 million was spent to build it, and $21 million a year of taxpayers' dollars go to support it. And when you go and learn of the horror of what happened to a segment of the human family, are you not learning not only to have compassion for Jews, but hate for those who did that? Why aren't Jews classified as hate teachers for reminding young Jews and Gentiles and the human family of what happened to them? Why don't you accuse them of spreading the seeds of hatred? You don't do that.
That's right.
Not one of you members of the press have ever written one story accusing Jews for spreading the seeds of hatred against Germans who are born today, who have nothing to do with what Hitler did to Jews 40 years ago. Come on, I want to reason with you. Now, this is the part of the lecture that might make some upset. But, I would be untrue to myself and to you if I allowed you to leave here and they would write tomorrow, Farrakhan stayed in the Bible and Quran and talked moral, but he never got into his usual hate diatribe. But we know him to be a hater. He's the man that called Hitler great and Judaism a gutter religion. But I'm not that kind of man. Now, while it is justified for you as members of the Jewish community to know and feel the pain of what your grandmothers, grandfathers, and great-grandmothers and grandfathers suffered, that you as a young Jew may make sure that nothing like this ever happens again to you and your people. We give you credit for that, and that's right, that you should do that. That is right, that you should also let the world know. You say Farrakhan is anti-Catholic. What are you talking about? How am I anti-Catholic? I mean, how did I get to be anti-Catholic? Where was Catholicism founded? In Rome? It wasn't founded in Jerusalem. When it started, we weren't in the founding of it. I'm talking about black people. You included us later, even made a few of us saints. That's really nice. But the way you got that religion fixed, everybody worthwhile in it is white. Talk to me. Have the Jews and the Catholics been having a feud? Why? Farrakhan and the Catholics haven't had no feud. Pope Pius the 12th looked the other way when Germans were putting Jews in ovens. Franklin Delano Roosevelt looked the other way when they were putting Jews in ovens. Black folk never put no Jews in no oven. How in the hell have we become now anti-Semitic? If it's all right for you to talk about 6 million, and it is, there were millions and millions of lives lost in Europe during World War II. Jews weren't the only ones that died. Russians lost millions. Other nationalities or ethnic groups in Europe lost millions. You don't hear about them. But what about us? Now wait. Is it wrong for me to remind you of what you have suffered at the hands of white people? Now wait, these whites that are in the audience, they didn't have no slaves. But if I don't remind my people of what your people have done, you might get the thought to do it again. But I'll tell you straight up, that ain't never gonna happen no more. We tell you never, never, never again. You will never enslave black people. That's over with. But I want to make sure it's over with. So I want to dig at the root of slavery so that the tree of slavery will die and never be planted again. We today are not being killed by white people as much as we are killing one another. You have to agree with that. A white policeman filled with hate may shoot a black man down, beat a black man up, and you run out and picket. But every weekend go to the hospital and see how many we're beating up. See how many black women are being raped by us. See how many young black men are being killed by us. You drive by shooting, right? You ain't driving by shooting in the white neighborhood. You drive by shooting each other. Talk to me.
Yes, sir.
You are so filled with self-hatred. Self-love is so far away from you that somebody got to come and plead with you to stop killing yourself. The black community all over America has been set up for destruction. Look, I'm not going to stay long. I'm not going to stay long. But I want to close this lecture by letting all of you know I have grown past hate. I hate the evil that is inflicted on my people. I hate the evil of this world. I hate what white folk have done. And I hate what we are doing to one another. Yes, but I have grown past hating somebody for the color of their skin. I have grown way past hating somebody because of their faith expression. That is not in me. I don't reserve a corner in my heart for some virile hate. I may be a better man than Elie Wiesel. I don't like the way we're living. I don't like what we're doing to ourselves. And we cannot blame white people for doing to us what we are now the greatest exponents of self-destruction. Somebody has to come home now and talk to us like Dr. King talked to those that joined him in nonviolent approach to a violent people. The Muslims go into housing projects where there's guns and drugs. We don't go armed with guns. Do you know why? We were yesterday's drug pushers. We were yesterday's pimps and hustlers. We were yesterday's thieves and cutthroats. We don't live that life anymore. So when we go into our projects where our people are still practicing what we have left behind, we can't go in like some self-righteous peacock, but we go without arms as a nonviolent army of love for our people, because we are all victims. And the drug pusher responds to us, and the gangbanger responds to us, because we know they are our brothers and sisters and we are theirs, and we don't go to give them harm or to sell wolf tickets. I wish that all this nonviolence that you practiced on Bull Connor, that you would turn now and practice that nonviolence with yourself and with one another. You're going to have some love in your heart to practice it. And that's why somebody has to come and teach you the knowledge of yourself so you could grow to love yourself and love your people. You are a beautiful people. You're not just beautiful, you are magnificent. I mean, I have never in my life gone anywhere on earth and found such magnificence as I find in you, that makes me willing to give my life, live my life, and die if necessary for you, because I see the value of you as a people. But you gotta come up from where you are. Somebody has to redeem you and save you from yourself. Brothers, sisters, you are growing to hate each other more and more every day, because when a woman has to bury her child who was killed in a gang fight because he had on the wrong color, can you believe that? That we who've been killed all our lives because we were the wrong color, now you're going to kill one another because you don't have on the right color? Something has happened to your head. Are you listening? This Quran says in the 2nd chapter, this book, there is no doubt in it. It is a guide to those who keep their duty, who believe in the unseen and keep up prayer. The greatest powers are not the powers that you see. It's the power that you don't see. Here's the earth, weighing 6 septillion tons, 7,926 miles in diameter, 24,896 miles in circumference, 57,255,000 square miles of land, and 139,685,000 square miles of water. Our earth floating, and you don't see no pillar upholding it. It's just floating in space. So smooth is its motion. It's not like a 747. You get it? But the earth floats at the speed of 1,037 1/3 miles per hour. She's moving through space, and you hardly feel it until God reveals to her and she begins to shake. And then everything go to falling off your shelf. In California today, you can buy the homes of the stars. Because they're trying to get out as fast as they can. Because they felt a shaking going on. But this magnificent earth is held up by an unseen power. So the earth is powerful, but what upholds her is more powerful. As we move in America, black people coming out by the thousands to hear what we have to say. People say, Farrakhan is the man. Well, you see him. But the power that you need to concentrate on is the power that you don't see. Because I am a finite man. I came and one day I'll go, but that unseen power that upholds me as it upholds the earth is the real power. So it is in the world of evil. You didn't know where I was going, did you? Look at you with your little pop guns, killing each other, robbing each other. You are the manifest evil. But what's the unseen power that's manipulating your ignorance, causing you to act as you act? You're not acting on your own power. You don't even realize you are being manipulated. All of the peoples of the earth, black, brown, red, yellow, and white, Jew, Gentile, Protestant, Catholic, Muslim, Buddhist, Hindu, the masses are being manipulated. And that's why Jesus called you sheep, in need of a good shepherd, because your shepherd is leading you wrong. Who is your shepherd? Who's leading you? Who got you killing yourself? Talk to me. You on crack now. How you all cracked up? You on reefer now. You on wine, whiskey, beer, drunked up. Who sent you to the liquor store? Well, I went on my own. That's how dumb you are. You think you went on your own. I made the decision to take that hit. You think you made the decision to take the hit. I'm the one that shot that so-and-so. Yeah, but there's an unseen power that got you in the condition that you're in. And until you understand the unseen and then come to the unseen power that comes to make manifest and undo the unseen wicked power, then you'll never be free. Paul said, Reverend, we war not against flesh and blood. So you can't look for some flesh and blood, but it's against principalities and powers and the rulers of the darkness of this world and spiritual wickedness that's in high places. See, if you're not up in high places, you don't know who's pulling the strings that got you functioning where you are. But I'd like to take you up with me tonight in just a minute to show you the unseen force that is destroying your life. That's why they don't want Farrakhan. That's why they want me dead. Because God has risen me up, and now the powers that are manipulating the wickedness of the world gotta come out and deal with me. Because I got past their flunkies. I got past their junkies. Now they gotta come out. And I want to call you out to the fight. Yeah. I want to call the wicked out to the rumble.
Let's get ready to rumble. The unseen power that got you acting like this. It's not you. It's what you've surrendered to. That's right. Let's look at it. First of all, you've been made ignorant to the knowledge of yourself. Calling yourself Jones, Johnson, Smith, O'Reilly, Culpepper, O'Toole, O'Fool, George Washington Carver Jones. If you don't know your name and you don't know your origin in the world, you're suffering. You've been hit in the head. You got amnesia, don't know who you are. And when you're like that, people can take advantage of you. Right. Let's check this out. It messed you up and us up in slavery. It made you, as a woman, a plaything, and made us a stud horse. So you could have sex with her, produce a baby, but you didn't take care of it. And you're the same way today. And you're the same way today. Huh? You make her pregnant, let the state take care of it. You still a stud. Messed up here. They went into us, didn't they? And they made children this color. And lighter. And maybe a few shades darker. Then if our hair was curly, we were more close to white people. Our nose not as broad, our lips not as thick. That means we were more beautiful. Who said so? Because the closer you got to look more like white people, the more beautiful you felt you were. So now you can go buy green eyes. You can buy blue eyes. You can blonde your hair. You can get as white as you can. You go to college and get your degree to become more white. Then you go to church and say, wash me. White as snow. And that's what happened. You got washed, baby. But not clean, white. Look at you. You hip. I mean, where you get that walk, brother?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
White folks sit back and look at us. They laugh at you. They laugh at how silly you act. And we turn you on the television. You there clowning and acting a fool. And white folk look at that, they have their children. Look at them. They bring their children, they drive through the hood. Look at them. Who wants to integrate with these people? Look at them, son. Now those black women there, they'll fly. Now those black women, they're really sexy, son. I know that's what they tell them. And that's why in college, sister, they're all over you. Poor silly black brother, he don't want you. He chasing a white girl. Yes, brother, you know it's the truth. And you feel like you're in heaven, right? When you got that white girl on your arm, you really struck them. Poor sister, she in the dorm. Oh, nobody paid me no attention. And the blacker she is, oh, nobody want her. So the poor black one with short hair haven't learned how to get a weave yet. See? Wait, now, wait. Sisters, the blacker you are, you feel so bad because you don't think you're beautiful. You don't think you're attractive. So then people hit on you. And you give them pleasure so you could have a friend, somebody to talk to. You are beautiful. Who the hell told you you wasn't beautiful? You are beautiful. The blackest woman in here with them pretty black eyes. I don't care if her hair's too short to twist with a tweezer. That's your queen, black man. Hold on to your black woman. You get respect as a man when you show love for your woman. We're all messed up. Now you join fraternities because you know you need some solidarity. So you an Omega. You a Sigma. You an Alpha, Phi Alpha. You Kappa Alpha Psi. You Delta Sigma Theta. You Zeta Phi Beta. You laying it on. You got the right handshake. You don't come up with the right handshake, you ain't my sister. What the hell you mean I got to have a handshake? Check out my head shake. It done shook me and you up. What do you mean we not family? You gonna be divided by some Greek letters? They got you all messed up. Some of you Masons. Some of you Shriners. Hey, Mason. Hey, Eastern Star. But you ain't in there with no white Masons. You ain't in the shrine with the white Shriner. Do you know why? Because you the real secret of the whole thing. Yes. You the master architect. You got in your head. You got carried on a westerly course. You got buried in the north corner. You are looking for the master with the master grip to raise you out of your shallow grave. You the prodigal son, you that left your father's house, you that took your inheritance and squandered it in a strange land, you trying to join yourself on to be a citizen, you never been accepted, you. But a famine arose in the land, and the boy started feeding swine and husking corn. And he decided, I think I will arise and go back to my father. You, time to get up. You the one that been in bondage for 400 years. You've been in a strange land, strange people. It's time now for the Exodus. You gotta come on out of her. Come on out of white people. Stop trying to be what you can't be and be yourself. You are the bottom rail that God said, I'm going to lift to the top. You are the last that he said he was going to make first. You are the least that he said he would make the most. You are the foolish things of the world that God said he would choose and make you put to flight the wickedly wise. It's you. And because it's you, the lost sheep that God would come and find in the last days, you that were despised and rejected are now the people of God. You got a great destiny. But the unseen powers, they say we can't hold them no more with religion. They broke out of their religious prison. We can't hold them no more with education. They broke out of their educational dilemma. Even the doctors that we made, PhDs, are upset. Even the middle class that we made, they're all angry now. They all share Farrakhan's attitude. That's why they can't uproot Farrakhan. He's deep down in the soul of his people. They don't understand this, that you would spend $10 and $15 to come and hear a man and he ain't singing and he ain't dancing and he not clowning. You are the people of God. You. But, brothers, sisters, because it's you, they are upset and they're plotting against your life, even as we speak. They put the most virulent form of syphilis in a Tuskegee experiment, and they allowed black men to cohabit, spreading syphilis throughout the black community. They were using germ warfare on you years ago. They were using biological warfare on you years ago, but just like when you put DDT and pesticides on a certain species, they build up an immunity to that, so you got to get something stronger. So you put something for the rat and you make a super rat. You put something out for the cockroach and you make a super cockroach. Well, they put something down for the black man and they kept on dealing. And now in 1994, You got a super black man. A black man like there never was before. It's you. It's you. It's you. Superman. Leaping tall buildings with a single bound. Running faster than a speeding bullet. It's you. Black man, it's you. They're frightened to death because everything they tried to do to destroy you, you keep on multiplying. So the book says they saw the children of Israel multiplying. And they said, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply and join on to an enemy of ours and come against us. What you gonna do, Pharaoh? We're gonna kill all the male children and spare the female. So the black male, you brother, you, the little boys, you all are at risk. Because if they can get rid of the black man, the black woman is theirs. She's the prize. She's the booty. And whenever you're a conquered man, the prize of war is your woman. And that's why you sing a song, shake your booty, shake your booty. Singing it, fool. And don't realize that when you're singing it about your woman, you're saying that she is the prize of the conqueror, because I am a conquered man. You the one. But look at you. We've produced a new generation, a generation stronger than any generation we've ever produced. A young generation that's fearless, men and women. They ain't listening to the preachers. They're not listening to the teachers. They're not listening to the politicians. I don't care how many meetings you all have downtown. It don't mean a damn thing uptown. It don't mean anything to the little black man. He don't care how often you meet. It's a new black man. It's a new black woman. Fearless. And they're cold. They're killers. But they're fruit from your tree. God allowed it to be. God allowed it to be. They're cold. They can squeeze off around in somebody and laugh. That's why they sat in Schindler's List and laughed when they saw them killing the Jews. They ain't laughing because they're anti-Semitic. They're laughing because they've been made cold to death. They walk with death every day. To live in the ghetto is to live in hell with death as your constant companion. So when you live like that, you begin to lose feeling for the living. Because the young people say, I'm dead already. I may not even reach 21, but I'm going to raise hell until I die. Just like you, white folk. You say, I'm going to live instead of die. I'm going to laugh instead of cry. I'm going to fill my cup till my number's up. I'm going to live until I die. You say that, white folk. Black folk are ready today. The black man is on the march today. But they put crack in your community. Because of your pain, they knew you wanted pleasure. So they put a chemical there that goes right to the pleasure center of your brain. And hit, and you're done. So now, because you've lost the pleasure of creative ideas, they know you would find pleasure in the organs of sex. So now AIDS is creeping up, killing black men and women. Not only here, but in Central Africa, whole villages being wiped out. And they're not homosexuals, and they're not intravenous drug users. They are your brothers and sisters being carefully, wisely exterminated from an unseen wicked power. You go to Hollywood, Hollywood. Hollywood now takes sex that is a private thing, and every movie got a sex scene or two in it. The songs are filthy and low down, all feeding your sex drive. So you become driven by your desire for pleasure and your desire for sex. So now there's so much stress on you as a man living in a white world. No power, no productivity. So now he puts guns in the community. Guns and drugs. Drugs that distort your personality, take away your heart and your soul, where you look at your own mother like she's a stranger, and you kill your mother for money to get another hit. So you're cold and callous and heartless and cruel now. And you're becoming hateful of yourself and your brother. So now you're in a mood for self-destruction. They put the guns in the community. You don't know how to shoot. The guns ain't good. They are used and they are defective. You don't get them in a gun shop. You get them on the white market. And then you shoot over here and the bullet goes over there. But now they got you where they want you. Now they put movies out that depict you as an unworthy of life individual. Boys in the Hood. Menace to society. Menace 2. Who's Menace 1? If you are Menace 2, who's Menace 1? White males have menaced the whole earth. And now you, copying the worst in them, have become a menace to yourself and to your people. Now they put that movie all over the world. What they doing that for? To justify coming into your community. And when they mow you down, the world will say they killed a bunch of animals, because that's the way you're made to look. You're being set up for the slaughter because they know you are the people of God. And they know that your future is great, but you got to turn from your wicked ways. You got to humble yourself and pray. And when you turn from your wicked ways and seek God's face, then He will hear you from heaven and heal your condition. And so your brother Farrakhan is going throughout the land calling out black men because the black male is at risk. They don't like that. They're upset. They want you to kill each other. You know why? Because alive, you're not valuable. But think of how valuable you are dead. Have you ever seen an old abandoned car in the black community? One day you see it there, 2 days you see it there, then somebody come get the tires. Somebody come get the carburetor. Somebody come take this part, that part, the other part. Then the junk man comes and moves it off the scene. And you go down in some area, you got a parts place where you can go and get a carburetor for your car. You can get even a front end or back end, a fender. You can get a motor because they deal in parts. You're more valuable dead than you are alive. The governor of Pennsylvania got sick. He was about to die. He needed a heart. He needed a liver. Get us a nigga. And that night, a black man was shot to death. And they got his heart. And they got his liver.
And now that governor is alive and well, governing, raising more hell because you are more valuable dead than alive. And every time you young brothers with good livers, young brothers with good kidneys, young brothers with young corneas, when you kill each other, they can't wait for you to die. They take your cornea, they take your heart, they take your liver, they take your kidney, and they preserve it and they put you under. And now some rich white person that can pay for your heart, pay for your liver, pay for your kidney, pay for your eyes, is now seeing better, living better, working better, while you are feeding the worms. But if God don't help us, we're through. But I want to say to white people, every one of you should get the final call. You shouldn't miss an edition. Body parts for sale. You become good for parts. Take care of yourself, brother. Take care of yourself, sister. Don't eat yourself to death. Put the best food in your body. Look at your brother. 61 years of age. Come on, look at your brother. 61 years of age. Ain't tired. Ain't old and beat down. Young and strong and powerful. I bench press 370 pounds. I deadlift 405 pounds, just snatch it up off the ground. Squat 405 pounds and haven't seen the end of my strength yet, because power is not in the body, power is in the mind. And when you got a powerful mind, there ain't nothing that can stop you from doing what you want to do. It's your time, black man. May Allah bless you. Thank you for listening. Assalamu alaikum.
The Honorable Farrakhan. Let us hear it, Toledo. Welcome the champion of the black man and woman, the champion of our rise all over the planet. Welcome him to Toledo, Ohio, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Let us welcome Minister Farrakhan to Toledo. Brothers and sisters, let us hear it.
Brothers and sisters, let's have prayer together. How many of you believe what you heard taught today, that it's the truth and good for us? Would you raise your hand? Isn't that beautiful? Now, brothers and sisters, can I ask you this? Will you strive when you leave here to do good to yourself and do good to one another? When you go home and you look at your mother, embrace your beautiful mother. If you have an argument and you fell out with your mom, go back tonight and say, Mom, whatever it is, I'm sorry, and make peace with your mother. If you don't know where your father is, if he's somewhere in the city but he and Mom don't get along, he hadn't been a good father, go find him. Tell him you thank him for giving you life because he's a victim. And then if you're good to your father, good to your mother, good to each other, then you turn Toledo around. Turn your condition around. All Muslims, Christians, Baptists, Methodists, Catholics, all of us should be working together to solve the problems of our people. I hope that you will do that. I thank Minister Charles. This is my faithful brother who has helped me for years. And if there's any division in the community between Muslims and Christians, we want to work it out, because we cannot solve the problems of our people at odds with each other. Will we do it?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Let's have prayer. What I'd like you to do is a little different, but I'd like to ask you to just hold hands with each other. Don't get to squeezing them too tight now. But I just want you to hold each other's hands. That's your sister, that's your brother. And I'd like to pray this prayer, partly in Arabic and then in English. And I ask that you go out into the evening and let the world know that you were not under the teaching of a hater, but under the teaching of a lover who loves good, who loves God, who loves truth, and who loves you, and who wants to see the condition of all of us made better. Let us pray. قل أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم الصراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, all praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the Beneficent, the Merciful, Master of the Day of Judgment. Thee alone do we worship, thine aid we seek. Guide us on the straight path, the path of those upon whom you have bestowed favors, not the path of those upon whom your wrath is brought down, nor of those who go astray after they have heard your teachings. O Allah, we thank you for this meeting in Toledo, Ohio, and we thank you for each and every one who came this evening to hear what we had to say in your name. We pray that your word will touch the heart of each and every woman and each and every man, that we may see the value of being a man and the value of being a woman, and then strive to be ourselves with mutual love and respect. We pray, O Allah, for our unity as a people, that through our unity we may pool our resources and solve the many problems that face our community. You have chosen us, not because of our blackness. You have chosen us not because we are the best. You have chosen us because we have come through the furnace of affliction and have been made ready in that affliction to do a great service for you and for the whole of the human family. And as you chose an Ethiopian black man, Bilal, to be the first caller to faith under the light of the guidance of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, today you have chosen us, a people of Africa, to call all human beings back to the straight path of God. We pray that each and every one will leave this auditorium and reach safely to their places of abode. We pray for the local Muslims and all those who work together for the common good, that we will be successful in making life better today than it was yesterday. And now We ask all of this in your holy and righteous name, bearing witness that there is no God but you. Nothing deserves to be served or worshiped but you, and bearing witness that Muhammad is your messenger. Ameen. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Brothers and sisters, that means God is great. Go in peace. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Brothers and sisters, let's give another round of applause to the Honorable Louis Farrakhan as he departs the building, thanking Allah for blessing us to be present in his midst this evening. Let him hear it as he departs, the Honorable Louis Farrakhan in Toledo, Ohio, this historic evening as we stop the killing in Northwest Ohio. Remember, brothers and sisters, to pick up your copy of tonight's tape. It has been high-speed duplicated and is now available for your purchase right outside Section D, as in divinity, right up on the second level of the building. Copies